Hello, Diargos here. Welcome back to my Factorio series. Okay, so I did some research and found that this is a decent start. The ratio of 4 to 2 to 1 is okay for the speed modules, and it's a little different, of course, for the efficiency and productivity modules, since they require 5 instead of 4 for the tier 3s. But the problem is that this is not very tileable in that I can't expand it out. By just copying and pasting it. I'll have to like fix it. And the other thing is I don't like that I have to rely on belts for the green circuits. So I found a design on Reddit that I really liked, and I actually remember I have used that design before in one of my other playthroughs, and it worked pretty well. It doesn't use any belts. It requires logistics networks for delivering of everything, but you can copy and paste it and plop it down, and it's supposed to be a perfect ratio or near perfect ratio or something like that. But everything is sped up with the assembler 3s and with the tier 3 speed modules. So we don't have all of those yet. We only have a couple, I think, 1 or 2. Yeah, but we can lay out the design and then replace it as we get those things. Before I can even really assembling machine 3 in an automated way, I need to first automate speed modules. So I'll do that after I set up this, so that I can have both running at the same time. And one of the reasons it's important to be able to tile it is because I want to fill this all up one way or the other, and that's important because I need at some point to be draining all of my iron production for the achievement, the Iron Throne 3 achievement. And I also need to be draining out green circuits and red circuits and blue circuits. So it's important that I can't just produce these huge quantities if they have nowhere to go, if they get backed up. So I need to be able to be pulling from them as well. That's just as important. Okay, so I'm going to tear this down, and we'll restart. And I have some ideas also for the green circuits, how to set those up. I probably won't belt them all the way out here like I'm doing right now, but we'll instead have a couple of inserters put them into provider chests at somewhere down this line. We can leave that for now. Let's pick these up. And they're carrying stuff off somewhere. I don't know where, but that's fine. We'll request it back if we have to. Okay, so I'm gonna go off of this design. I can put the link in the description so that other people can use it. But it's essentially the same thing that I had before, but it's very similar to the green circuits, the way that they have 2 that feed in, but you'll see that there's some similarities and some differences. So we put down 2, and each of this is 4, right? And it's going to be doubled up, so we're going to actually have 2 tier 3s, but these feed in to tier 2s, right? And then in the middle will be the tier 3. So tier 1s are down here. Let's put that on. Tier 2s on the sides, and then tier 3s in the middle. And we're gonna copy and paste this and mirror it so that it's the same thing, but just flipped on the side, if that makes sense. Okay, now we need to plop down the requester chests, and I think I need to request more. These, where are they? Oh, yeah. Okay, let's say, oh, I already have this on here. I need more than 10 though. Let's do, make sure I have 30 at any time. That's good. Okay, and I also want to put that up and that up, and we will make a spot for our requester chests on our tool belt. And anything else? I think that's good. Okay, so next up we need to, I'm just going to go with what they have. I mean, you can put it any way you like, but since the idea is to make it compact, we want it so that we can tile it. We'll put down the chest the way that they did it, because it seems to be well thought out. And here. Go. And then 2 in the middle for feeding down. There we go. And then I see that they have a passive provider chest right at the bottom, and I think this is for the output for the tier 3s. And then they use 2 long-handed inserters to place and draw from those chests, which is pretty neat idea. Okay, and then we've got some power poles to put down, and then we need to feed some inserters to feed in, so like that, here, and then power poles in the middle. Oop, not that one. Yeah, that's the right one. Okay. Okay, and I think, see, in the design, he has these not lined up in the same place. I'm going to leave that where it is. He has it up here. I don't know why you would do that. Let's make sure everything is powered up, though. Okay, that's a lot of power poles. Okay, looks good. And now we can create a blueprint of this. Spin it around, and this is the full design that he has right next to each other. Yep. Okay, the difference though, and we'll fix this as we go, is one, these are all going to be assembling machine 3s, and then the other thing is that they all have speed module 3s in them, so that they're going as fast as possible. If it's not going to be as effective, I think, if you don't have them all have, like, the ratio is not going to be as perfect, I would imagine. It might still be. I'm not sure. I haven't done the math on that. But that's it. That's the design for the speed module, from 1 to 2 to 3. And then what I might do is for the assembling machine 3s, I might have my own speed module, because it only needs the basic one, and I can just have 1 or 2 on either side of it feeding into the assembler for that. Okay, and let's clear this and then create our final. You want to put any lights down? I think I do, before I copy that. Put a couple of lights down here and here. Okay. Then we'll copy that. And let's change this to be assembly machine. We'll do the speed module 3. We'll replace that. And I think that's good. Okay. And then we'll tear this down. And let's put up, not what I wanted. Let's start with putting it right here. Leave some space in case we need it. Okay. I think my robots carried everything away, so we'll have to wait for them to come back, but we can connect this up. Oh, it is connected already. Okay. All right. And then the only other thing we have to do is set the requester chests. So this one needs green and red. Just copy and paste that for all of these. Okay. Can check. Looks good. And then for these, we need blue and red. Copy and paste that. Okay, just checking. Check all of these, make sure I copied it. Okay, and then This one also blue and red for there. And then they need, in addition to that, they need, we'll say 100 alien artifacts, because I think it's just one. So that'll cover for 100 of the modules. Okay. Let's let that run. We should see output here. And the other thing we need to do is actually, since we're not using a belt anymore, we need to have a passive provider chest, at least one for the green circuits. So we'll do that right over here. I think actually, instead of putting it here, I might want to put it, because I'm going to expand this out, right? So I want either to put it before it goes anywhere into the belt, like it's the first thing, or the very last thing, I think, which I think the last thing makes more sense. So I will do that. I'll put it down here. Let's do it right here. Okay. And I think we probably want several to draw from. And we'll power it up. There we go. And we'll let that completely fill up. We're going to just drain the line. Again, I am going to expand this, the green circuits, so it's okay if it drains the line right now. Let's see how we're doing. Everything is working there. This is waiting. Okay, so this one got some, so that's good. Kind of making sure. It's good to like check like this, because you want to make sure everything is working, so that when you blueprint it and copy and paste a whole bunch of them, they're not going to, you're not going to find out they're not working or something like that. So that's actually cooking. That's good. And we're just waiting on speed module 2s now. We can see this one already has one, so that's good. And for the, I think I picked up, oh no, they carried it away. I'm sure they put it down here in storage somewhere. So what I'm doing is I'm looking for power. That's not good. They're charging up. Okay. Looking for that right there. And these. Grab anything that's really doesn't belong down here. Okay, that's fine. Do I see? No. Okay. All right, let's go back up there. We can drop these off, and we can start using some of these modules as well. And then I will work on building out the assembler 3 automation. So that'll help. Let's do, I mean, it's going to kind of throw it off either way. Let's do this. Okay, and we'll drop the rest in there, and for these, we'll just drop in here. It'll use those. Okay. And let's look at the green. Barely keeping up. Might want to add more, I think. Well, let's see how that does. We can add more if we need to. Okay, green's pumping out. It's not too bad. I think now is a good time, though, to do our assembling machine 3. Okay, so I think I'm going to leave this, like, I'm not going to put it over here. I'm going to put it, let me think about that. Okay, I really just need I need to repeat this part right here, right? Okay. And I'm gonna need some modules as well. I think I'll do it. I think I can do it right over here. Yeah, I'll do it right here. See if we can make this work. Actually, I'm gonna design this a little differently. Okay, let's start from scratch. I'm gonna use the logistic network, I think, for this. And I might want to put it over here, actually. Okay. So I know I need an assembler 1 being crafted, and that goes into number 2, and that goes into number 3. Okay, and we'll do direct insertion there. Okay, so this guy needs requester chests. Okay, he needs green circuits, iron gear wheels, and iron plates. I might have to set that up a little differently. And he needs the same thing. And you just need modules like, I don't know, how many do they use? 4? Okay, we'll do 20. Okay. And then the other thing that we want to do is create the actual modules, right? So down here, he'll go straight in. Well, I don't need to use these blue inserters. I always do that though. That's okay. And he's going to need a requester chest as well for the green and red. So we can do green, oops, and red. Okay. Power that. Power like this. Okay. And then we want to put an output box there. We'll do 3 stacks because I'm going to be replacing a lot of stuff. Okay, what you need, man? You don't need anything. You don't need a requester chest. Okay. So the iron and the gear wheels, how did they handle that? Well, we can do, nope, cancel that. We can do the green circuits pretty easily. Do I want to make, oh, look at this. Look at this line right here. Let's just use this line. Then what I need iron gear wheels, which, are there any coming around here? I don't think so. Right here, but that's all the way over there. I don't want to pipe that. So the problem that I have is that I have a requester chest already for dumping iron, right? Which is fine. I can get rid of it. I think what I'll do, a little tricky. You know, I can just pull see right up here. Let's do that. Here's what we'll do. We'll take one of these and we'll turn them into a passive provider chests, and we'll do, yeah, we'll do 5 stacks. Okay, and then 3 should be enough for now, hopefully. I mean, we're not using these belts that much, so it's just really the inserters. So that's kind of good. We can recycle that. And running low on reds now. And now I can put down these requester chests again, except just change them to be iron gear wheels. Here we go. 100 seems pretty good. They take 5. Okay, yeah, that's good. Okay, so what is the deal with the red? How are we looking? Do we need... Yeah, it's like pulling everything off the line now. I think we're going to need to expand out everything now. Starting with red. And I probably what I'll do is I'll design, either copy and paste this or design something that is specifically for going into the requester chests. I might just keep the same layout, but have multiples of them kind of over here nearer to the plastic source. Let's run up here and check real quick what, looking pretty good. Okay. I'm able to start using these now. 6, good. Cool. Spread that out a little bit. All right, so that'll go faster and slightly, a little bit more fast, a little bit quicker, I think, once we can fill in the rest of these, but I'm pleased with that. Okay, cool. Now I think we're gonna do a lot of copying and pasting for expanding green, red, blue circuits eventually, and probably have to deal with some copper production as well. Once we start draining the belt. Looking pretty good right now though. I'm gonna end the episode here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.